Okay, this stuff can't be good for you, right? No calories, no sugar, no problem? Stop me if you've heard this one before. You're having a nice time, enjoying a little treat, and one of your smug friends comes along and says, "That's not good for you, you know." Are they right? Are you a sucker? Are you a big, stupid, gullible idiot, and they're a discerning genius that will generously guide you on the path to redemption? Or are they a little right, a little wrong, and more importantly, just kind of insufferable personality-wise? Are diet sodas actually bad for you? Let's find out, if we can. I wasn't allowed to drink sodas very often as a kid. We didn't have them in the house usually, we didn't get fast food very often, and I was homeschooled, so there weren't usually other kids around to trade with at lunch. So when I reached adulthood, I started going ham on the sodas. Anybody remember Sprite Remix? Or Pepsi Vanilla? Come on, Pepsi, get with the program. Coke brought Vanilla Coke back years ago. Aren't you supposed to be their main rival? Chop chop. And don't act like this nitro crap was gonna cut it either. I'm talking a real soda, okay? Anyway, you get it. I like soda. And for the longest time, I avoided diet soda. Wasn't there some study that showed the artificial sweetener aspartame caused cancer or something like that? Yeah, I feel a lot safer with my 40 grams of sugar, thank you very much. And hey, it's natural to be skeptical. Like, you're telling me these drinks are no calories? Which means they don't cause any more weight gain than water does, but they still taste good? Like, what's the catch? You know the old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, look at these Coke Zero ingredients. You've got phosphoric acid, aspartame, potassium benzoate to protect taste, or so they say. Likely story. Potassium citrate and acesulfame potassium. Wow, that's a lot of potassium. Just what is all this stuff? Well, aspartame and acesulfame potassium, or ACE-K for short, are both artificial sweeteners. The combination of the two is what gives Coke Zero its updated taste over the old Diet Coke, which just had aspartame. Think of the ACE-K as aspartame's handler. Aspartame gets a little overenthusiastic sometimes, and ACE-K helps mellow it out a little bit and give it a more natural sugar flavor. The aspartame ACE-K combo is not only in Coke Zero, but also in Dr. Pepper Zero and Pepsi Zero/Pepsi Max, among many others. Potassium citrate is closely related to citric acid, the stuff in citrus fruits that taste a little sour. It's also a preservative and slightly combats kidney stones, which may not be an insignificant benefit. Potassium benzoate is another preservative, and phosphoric acid is yet another preservative that also provides additional sour taste. So all in all, you have 2 artificial sweeteners, 3 preservatives, and 2 flavor enhancers. And the other 99% of a diet soda is just water. Most of this stuff is pretty normal and is in a lot of food you probably eat all the time, but the ones that stand out are the artificial sweeteners, and those haven't been without controversy. Specifically, aspartame. The thing is, with this stuff, there's not just one factor to consider. There's many factors. The factors at work are very important. One could say they're crucial factors. And this video is even sponsored by Factor. Factor is a meal delivery service that makes meeting your nutrition goals easy, with fresh, never frozen meals delivered right to your doorstep and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50WOLF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50WOLF on factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. There's a lot to be thankful for this time of year. The first thing that comes to mind for me is that Factor takes the stress out of meal planning. No grocery stores, no prep work, no cooking fatigue, and they got great options like keto and calorie smart. The second thing that comes to mind is that I'm also thankful for my wonderful family. Plus, they're flexible about pausing or rescheduling orders when things get hectic. We paused our delivery for this week in light of the holidays, for example. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50WOLF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50WOLF on factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Big thanks to Factor for sponsoring this video. Now, where was I? All right, I was talking about factors. This transition is so confusing. To summarize my personal findings, the word I kept seeing looking into this was inconclusive. There have been more than 100 studies on aspartame, and somehow the slippery bastard is still allowed on the shelves.
You can't keep getting away with it!
They can't come to a conclusion on this thing already? The first study was in 1969. It's been over 50 years. If they haven't been able to reach a conclusion by now, then what, we're just supposed to assume it's safe? Here we go. I knew I'd forgotten something. There was a big hubbub last year when aspartame was classified by the World Health Organization as possibly carcinogenic. Oh my God. Aspartame gives you cancer.
I knew it!
Yes, the World Health Organization did classify aspartame as a Class 2B substance, possibly carcinogenic to humans. However, you want to know what was higher up on the list? As in Class 2A, probably carcinogenic, and Class 1, which are known carcinogens. Well, they've classified all processed meat in Class 1, the highest category there is, like ham, bacon, pastrami, for example, and they have those alongside plutonium and cigarettes. So let's just say these classes aren't exactly on an even playing field. They also have all red meat in the Class 2A probable carcinogen list. And to give an idea of what that means, another Class 2A item is night shift work. Working the night shift is a probable carcinogen. To put this into perspective, this means that according to them, you're more at risk for cancer if you work nights than if you drink aspartame. In summary, this classification came out and people just read the headline as aspartame possibly causes cancer. But when you look into it, you start to realize a lot of things possibly cause cancer. And for Class 2B and lower, what they're really saying is, hey, it's not impossible to get cancer from this stuff. Like, we can't 100% guarantee that you won't get it. And I'm sorry, but if this is the strongest language they can come up with after 50 years worth of over 100 extensive studies, then I think I'm fine with drinking some aspartame. I mean, if I'm not gonna stop eating Class 1 pork tacos, which are delicious by the way, then I think I can handle a little Class 2B artificial sweetener. By the way, if you were wondering, Class 3, not carcinogenic at all. So it's in the third highest category out of 4. I don't know why they didn't just call it Class 3. Instead, they call it 2B, so it sounds a lot worse than it is. As always, feel free to double check me on this and read up on it yourself. I think you'll be as underwhelmed as I was, though, especially when you get to the part where the Joint Committee says it is safe for a person to consume 40 milligrams of aspartame per kilogram of body weight per day, which is a lot of aspartame. Like, a lot. You're never gonna have this much aspartame per day. This part's really funny. Look, they say, for example, with a can of diet soft drink containing 200 or 300 milligrams of aspartame, an adult weighing 70 kilograms, that's about 154 pounds, would need to consume more than 9 to 14 cans per day to exceed this intake. 9 to 14 cans is already way too much. But when you consider the fact that a can of Coke Zero only has 85 milligrams of aspartame, that means that you can safely have 33 cans of Coke Zero a day. Listen, I like Coke Zero, but oh my God, 33 cans! All right, are we done talking about aspartame causing cancer? You're less at risk for cancer drinking Coke Zero than you are eating bacon. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just drink all the Coke Zero you want. Please don't drink 33 cans of this stuff, okay? And definitely don't drink 34. That would be over the limit. All right, so the jury's still out on aspartame, even after 50 years worth of research. Apparently half a century is not enough. But considering the Joint Committee just told me it was safe to drink up to 33 cans of Coke Zero per day, I'm deciding it's okay to drink it. No, seriously, when I read up on this whole thing after it was published last July, that's when I decided to start drinking diet soda. Before that, I was too scared. And the reason I was too scared is because there were all these what ifs flying around. Asking questions like, what's the catch with diet soda, is a totally fair question to ask. And depending where you look, you get different answers. But beware, some people don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like many of you, I find that Google's search results are so full of ChatGPT written articles and just general spam these days that when I want to ask a question like, is diet soda actually bad for you, I have to add the word Reddit at the end of it to get anywhere. And it's a double-edged sword because Reddit can be a great resource, but it can also be a terrible one.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
For example, I came across this Reddit thread on r/no-stupid-questions, and if this thread is any indication of the quality of answers you get in this place, just wow. I would say I'm disappointed by the ignorance, but then again, this is Reddit we're talking about. I'll be honest, reading these answers pissed me off, so I've decided to make content out of it. Let's begin. The thread starts with user Georgie is here asking, is drinking diet soda the same as drinking water? Which is a question I had, and it's how I found the thread. Like, we read all the ingredients earlier. Diet sodas are basically water and then a bunch of sweeteners and preservatives that have no nutritional value. So, isn't diet soda pretty much just water? The top comment from user LW School states, nutritionally, diet soda is like drinking salt water. So, no, it does not have the same benefits as drinking regular water. Comparing diet soda to salt water is a recurrent theme in this thread from multiple people, so strap in. The second top comment is from user Evil Sir, who doesn't answer the question and instead self-righteously poses for the camera. May I remind you, soda is not good for you, diet or otherwise. But that's not the question this person was asking, was it? They're asking a hydration-related question. If there's any difference between diet soda and water. Didn't ask for your opinion on whether or not it was, quote, good for you, a phrase that has different meaning for different people depending on what their health goals are. User Suspicious Victory chimes in to say, even diet soda contains a ton of sodium. My friend, 12 ounces of Coke Zero contains 40 milligrams of sodium, which is practically nothing. It does not contain, quote, tons of sodium. User Thunder75 disagrees with me on that though, saying that 40 milligrams of sodium per 12 ounces is, quote, like drinking salt water. And this is about where I started getting really mad. Setting aside the fact that I've tasted salt water before and can tell you just from that the sodium content is not comparable at all, screw it, let's do the math. 1 kilogram of seawater has approximately 10.7 grams of sodium. 1 kilogram is roughly the equivalent of 34 fluid ounces, or 2.8 cans of Coke Zero. So 1 kilogram of Coke Zero has 112 milligrams of sodium, or 0.1 grams. So actually, salt water has over 100 times more sodium than diet soda does. Damn, you guys weren't even close. It's like you just made it up, and then you said it. Bro, tons of sodium in diet soda. It's like drinking salt water. If you drink that stuff on a deserted island, it'll kill ya. User Told You So gave me a little catharsis in this thread, responding to this claim by saying, well, a teaspoon of salt has 2,600 milligrams, so you need to drink over 60 cans of Diet Coke to equal 1 teaspoon of table salt. And people use this amount in cooking all the time. To which user Wall of Chaos responded, are you daft? This is how Redditors act when they're out of arguments. They just start shouting. It's worth knowing that this person also tried to stage an intervention later down the thread. Just stop. Drink water, please, for the kids. The diet soda haters are so dramatic. They act like you're contemplating hard drugs or something. There is literally no reason on this planet to drink soda. None whatsoever. It provides you with nothing. You can make this argument with anything that's primarily done for fun. There's no reason on this planet to watch cartoons. They provide you with no benefit. But yeah, apparently this very simple question effectively stumped the No Stupid Questions subreddit. If only they renamed the place to No Stupid Answers, maybe we could have made some headway. This is what it's like looking up stuff about diet soda, though. Hard to get a straight answer from anyone. Everyone wants to go off on these rabbit trails. Like, I just want to know, 12 ounces of water versus 12 ounces of Coke Zero. What's the difference? Reddit user Boogie Bang Bang postulates that Coke contributes with kidney stones and artificial sugar helps cancer. Inelegant phrasing aside, I don't think I would trust information coming from this person. It's time to grow up and drink water. Okay, yeah. Let's all take our behavioral cues from Boogie Bang Bang, the paragon of maturity, shall we? Back to my question about water. Some people say that diet soda isn't hydrating like water. It's actually dehydrating. Not because of the sodium, though, but because of the caffeine. Caffeine is a diuretic which promotes the production of urine, hence dehydration. Okay, well, what about the zero caffeine version? Is this one hydrating, or are you gonna find something wrong with this one too? Even if it did have caffeine, a 12-ounce can only has 34 milligrams. To put that in perspective, a typical 8-ounce cup of coffee has about 95 milligrams of caffeine. We're looking at roughly quadruple the amount of caffeine per ounce in coffee compared to diet soda. And guess what? Coffee's considered to have a net hydration gain thanks to, well, all the water in it. Someone posed the question, why does coffee dehydrate us, to r/biology, which I would trust a lot more than these other places to give actual scientific data. And wouldn't you know it, the top comment, which cites 5 different studies, answers, coffee doesn't dehydrate us. There's no difference in hydration between water, coffee, and tea. I kind of feel like if coffee, with 4 times as much caffeine as diet soda, can overcome its potent dehydrating effects, then it would follow that diet soda can too. But hey, what about this claim I see floating around that studies show that diet soda is linked to weight gain? What mysterious substance within this magical can could be the culprit? Here's the thing with this, okay? Diet soda is 0 calories. When it comes to calories and weight gain, they have this thing down to a science. 1 pound of body fat is approximately 3,500 calories, give or take a few hundred. It's mathematically impossible for a 0-calorie drink to directly cause you to gain weight. One reason why diet soda may be linked to weight gain is in the name itself, diet soda. A lot of people drink diet soda when they're on a diet. And if you've ever been on a diet, you know that for every successful diet someone takes, there's at least one failed diet. I've successfully lost weight by dieting, but I've more often successfully gained weight by dieting because I rebelled against the diet. Everyone knows that Bible verse from the book of Genesis. He ate right for 6 days, and on the 7th day, he broke down and ordered the patty melt from Whataburger and undid all his hard work. But he had a Coke Zero with that patty melt. There's all sorts of claims out there about diet soda that I either can't find a clear answer on, or it seems like there is no clear answer. One person says diet soda may not directly cause you to gain weight, but it can slow down your metabolism. But then another person says, no, that's completely ridiculous. Diet soda cannot alter your metabolism. One person says, well, the artificial sweetener tricks your brain into thinking it's getting sugar, so it has an insulin response. Another person says, well, actually, there's no conclusive evidence that sweeteners cause an insulin response. One person says, hey, diet soda increased my sugar cravings, and another person says, hey, diet soda decreased my sugar cravings. So what are you supposed to do? Well, though this topic's favorite word tends to be inconclusive, I decided to conclude that this stuff is pretty okay in the grand scheme of things. Is it good for you? Probably not. There's no nutritional benefit and it's inferior to water. But hey, if you drink this stuff instead of a regular Coke with 40 grams of sugar, let me show you what that looks like again in case you forgot. I'd say you're probably coming out ahead there. Now, of course, you're gonna get these tedious hydro bros out there that will incredulously ask, why don't you just drink water? I only drink water. No juice, no soda, no beer, no liquor, no milk, no joy in life. Oh, oops, Freudian slip there at the end. Like, yeah, you could have grilled chicken with brown rice and room temperature water with every meal. Or you could have some fun. Like with most things in life, I found that the most healthy route tends to be moderation. Just like it's not healthy to play video games for 18 hours a day, it's probably not healthy to drink 8 diet sodas a day, right? Or 33. But depending on your health goals, it's probably fine to have 1 or 2 a day. In a world full of terrible vices, hard drugs, gambling, alcohol, nicotine, if my vice is a little bit of aspartame and caffeine, I feel like I'm doing just fine. But please, feel free to yell at me in the comments if you vehemently disagree. Although, fair warning, if you're too mean about it, I'll probably just say you're one of these guys' alts, and you'll never be able to prove otherwise, so that will become canon lore for you on the internet. Your reputation will never recover. That's how powerful I am. Anyway, this was a fun video. Hoping to make more fun videos like this that are shorter and have a less serious tone, dealing with more lighthearted topics, I guess. If can diet soda give you cancer? If that's a more lighthearted topic, I guess. So let me know if you think I should do more. I'm ready.